Retail workers of Reddit, what is the most desperate scam a customer has tried to pull on you? September 12, 2001, USA. A guy in Spartanburg, South Carolina calls and says that his weed trimmer was in the Twin Towers in New York City the day before and got destroyed by terrorists and demanded I replace it under warranty. A woman came in, grabbed an herb roasted rotisserie chicken, moseyed over to the casual seating, ate 85% of it with her bare hands, then brought the carcass to customer service and tried to return it. Had a customer return a vacuum cleaner once. My supervisor did the return thankfully. The box went back on the floor unchecked. The next customer who wanted to buy it checked it out before they went to the register. The whole F***king thing had been replaced with a catering sized tin of beetroot. We don't deliver the pizzas we make, it's carry out only. Had a customer call and have a long/angry conversation with me because I won't deliver to her. She proceeds to say a couple times, "You must be new here. I know the owner personally," to which I responded, "Well, I'm the owner's daughter and we don't deliver." Mart returns counter. Had a guy try to return a CD with receipt. The shrink wrap had been sliced and the CD taken out. He claimed it was like that when he bought it. I told him I couldn't return it for cash but could swap it for the same thing. He went to get a new CD and brought some other artist. Told him it had to be the exact same thing. I had the electronics employee bring up the right CD as I checked that they were the same and told him I would give him a new one. A smile grew on his face, which quickly melted away when I took out a knife and cut open the plastic on the CD. No, you can't return that one later. Another scammer that I actually caught was this guy who was paralyzed on the left half of his body. He walked slowly around the store, dropping stuff and drooling. Never did find out if he was actually paralyzed or just part of the scam. One day I caught him bagging OxyClean in his cart. Notified LP and she watched him. He went through self-checkout and told me he bought the OxyClean in electronics. LP called electronics. No such sale was made. I think she let him go that time, but the next time he came in he got a police escort. This one was an insider job. This guy who worked in electronics also did layaway. One of the service desk girls would put a giant bag of dog food in layaway. Then the electronics guy would empty the bag and fill it with expensive electronics. Turns out they had been getting away with this for years. Then the LP staff changed and the new lady knew how to police the place. Just yesterday I had a till tapper/quick change artist try to money shuffle me for what would have been a grand sum of $5. Pissed him off when I wouldn't play his game. Next best was someone calling wanting to know if we had spare empty boxes for Xbox consoles because he wanted to prank his kid and give him an empty box. I know very well he wanted to try to stuff the box with who knows what and attempt a return. Of course, the folks at customer service check such boxes for actual product and match serials to those on the box. Not sure if it qualifies as a scam or not, probably just attempted shoplifting. When I was working as an electronics cashier I asked a woman if she needed help buying a TV. She said no thanks and placed a smart TV into her cart. I asked her if she wanted to make the purchase at electronics and she said she wanted to pick up a couple more things in electronics. I went to help another customer when I realized the woman was rushing towards the front of the store with the TV. I immediately radioed loss prevention that someone was trying to run out with a TV and they stopped her at the door. Her immediate defense was, "I paid for this in electronics, I just left the receipt in my car." I have no idea how that made logical sense in her mind, since of course she couldn't have the receipt in her car if she *just bought the TV in electronics. I'd like to return this unopened pack of cigarettes I purchased earlier today at your establishment. Might be paraphrasing a little bit. I open the store every day, hadn't seen this dude once that day, looked at his cigarettes, it's a brand we don't carry, asked him for a receipt to confirm he purchased them here, but he obviously didn't have one. That's fine. If you can just tell me what time you were in here today I can look it up on our cameras to confirm your purchase. My god, the backpedaling and stuttering. I grabbed his cigarette pack and fake examined them. Wait a moment sir, are you sure you purchased these at this store? I don't think we carry this brand. He took the cigarettes back, came up with something about his brother, must have yada yada, and then he walked out. A tobacco store in town sells some of the brands we carry at a much cheaper price, so people like to try and do returns at our store to make a quick buck. We generally don't take any returns on tobacco, but this guy didn't even scope out his mark. Edit. Resident of Indiana. Couldn't find anything pertaining to the legality of tobacco returns in my state. If it helps, anytime the ATF drops in for a checkup, the only question we get asked is if we sell individual cigarettes. Outside of that, I've worked a few retail jobs where tobacco was sold, and I wasn't told at any of them that tobacco returns were illegal. I'm assuming it's more individual store policy on whether or not they take returns, and I've worked retail long enough to see how an employee would tell someone it's illegal rather than against store policy, just to help avoid an argument. Not to say it might not be illegal in other states, just that I don't think it is in mine. Worked in a bottle shop. One afternoon a shady character entered and spent 10 minutes browsing the liquor section. I stayed at the checkout and watched him on the CCTV. He ended up shoving 2 bottles of Johnny Walker Blue down his pants and walked out. Store policy is not to confront shoplifters. That's what insurance is for. I called the police and burned the footage onto a DVD for them to collect. About an hour later the same guy returns with the bottles demanding a cash refund because he purchased the wrong type. Just as I was telling him I can't do a refund without a receipt, the police walked in to collect the footage. He left with them in handcuffs. I was working at a place that has soft serve as a part of the menu. I was working one day and a lady came up to the counter and said something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm really sorry, my daughter dropped her ice cream and she's really sad about it. Do you think you could give me another?" I was about to then realized an important fact. The ice cream was broken that day and we weren't selling any. I looked back at her and told her that it must not be from us because of the machine. She turned bright red and mumbled, "Oh, then I guess it must be from Dairy Queen or something," and left quickly. "This projector is going to be used at our church. Can we get a discount? This flat screen TV is going to be used at our church. Can you waive the taxes? This for church. Discount?" Telling me she had a voucher for 50% off in her emails, but she didn't have a copy with her. I was like, "No hun, nice try." When I worked on a checkout, a woman pulled a barcode label from a container of $4 tinned fruit and stuck it over the barcode of a $25 container of medjool dates. She pretended that she didn't do it. Another time a man carried a $30 bag of dog food the customer service counter without paying for it and asked for a refund. My manager gave it to him, even though we both knew he had stole it while we watched him. Oh, and another time a group of people were using fake credit cards to steal. Not sure exactly how it worked, but they ended up typing in a different card number into the FPAS terminal, while another dude tried to distract you. These guys were super friendly and chatty, and probably thought I was young and dumb, but I caught them trying to take off with about $500 worth of groceries. They were all like, "Just let us go and get some cash out. We'll be back soon to pay." They never returned, and my manager gave me a box of chocolates for picking up on it. Proudest moment of my retail career. I work at an Italian deli/specialty market. It's family owned and has a super tight-knit cast of employees. It's also in a rougher part of town. One day, a presumably homeless woman came into the store. No big deal. We're by the shelter and a lot of the homeless folks are friendly and just getting something nice to eat. However, this lady was clearly out of her mind. Whether it was drugs or mental illness wasn't clear. Honestly, probably both. She was in the store for an hour just harassing employees and customers. Eventually, the owner, the Italian man, after which the store is named, had to intervene. He firmly asked the lady to leave, but she had a surprising response. "Oh, it's okay, I work here." Imagine the surprise on the owner's face. He certainly didn't remember hiring her. Dumbfounded, he told her that was impossible, since he's in charge of the hiring, to which she responded, "Oh, are you hiring?" Honestly, I'd got to respect a good gambit. Unfortunately for her, it didn't seem to pan out. I had a customer try to pay with a check using an ID that was very obviously made of paper. When I wouldn't accept it, she tried to get her boyfriend to fight me. He laughed and awkwardly walked out of the store, leaving her there, crying now, from the embarrassment of failure I guess. Edit. I understand that some states issue paper temporary licenses. Mine does too. This was clearly not that. Worked at Aldi, which has a return policy where you get your money back plus get to pick an item of equal or lesser value. One customer routinely returned a gallon of milk with just a quarter remaining, claiming it was rancid. He'd then get a new gallon and his money back. This went on almost daily for 2 weeks until the DM finally put his foot down. Aldi will do anything to please the customer. It's insane. Not traditional retail, but had a client swear she did not receive 2 packages from me and was refusing to pay the invoice for the second package from more than 6 months prior. I knew she was lying, but she was extremely rude and insistent. I was able to go back on all records and was able to find both a photo of the first package on her front doorstep. Super lucky, as that's not a normal delivery procedure to have photographed evidence, and a signature of receipt for the second one with her name very clearly signed, dated 4 days later. I emailed the evidence and never heard back from her again. Not even an apology email or phone call, which just confirms she knew she was lying. They cut off a tag off an expensive jacket. I saw them do this. Walked up to me and tried to return it. Security showed them the doors. Had a guy try to return 2 Sega CD games for cash. Problem was they were wrapped in saran wrap, and then had the gall to exchange them for properly wrapped games, so he could go across the street to Walmart and return them for cash there. Him and his buddy must have really needed beer and weed money. Also have seen people try on new shoes, put the old ones in the box, and walk out with the new ones. Had an old man act like he was pulling a gun out of his waist just to get away from loss prevention. And one of my favorites had the 2 women grab a bag from luggage and put all of the rolls of film in the bag, then try to ditch the bag because we were following them. When I worked at the service desk of a local grocery store, we had this lady who was super skinny and wore sunglasses and long sleeves all the time. One day she came in with a friend and tried to return beauty items. We didn't have a beauty/makeup section and claimed she had no receipt due to short-term memory loss. It was so hard not to laugh in her face. She had attempted to return things this way numerous times. We all knew what she was doing. Customer shows me a coupon on his phone. Several problems with this. Asterisk, it's against corporate policy to scan coupons off the phone. There's a sheet of paper taped to the counter with all of the rules and it's like the 6th one on it. Asterisk, when my kowtowing a smudge of manager scanned the stupid F asterisk king thing anyways, the system rejected the coupon saying that the coupon wasn't issued to him. Asterisk, the offer that the coupon was for was different than the offer shown on his phone. Asterisk, there was an Instagram stamp on the coupon on his phone. Also, customer tries to return some makeup without a receipt. I look it over and tell her I can't return it. She tries to say that we have to, since we sell it here and whatnot. I tell her I can't return it because it has a security label from the grocery store that's 5 miles down the road. She books it out and leaves said makeup behind. I had someone try to return 2 bottles of laundry detergent. She dropped them off at the counter and said she didn't like that brand. She walks off to do her shopping. I wonder how it smells, so I open the detergent and smell it. It's water. Both of these jugs are filled with warm water. During the exchange she tries to claim they were like that when she bought them. I explain I can't return them and she will have to talk to the day manager. Boss lady who has final say. Customer came in for her 1-hour facial appointment to try our skincare brand in a department store. It was $75, or you could purchase products to that value or above. She came out from her facial, pampered, requested the whole range, then exclaimed she had left her credit card in her bag, which she had left in the car. She quickly said it'll be back in 5, and never returned. We cottoned on pretty quickly, but she had disappeared, and the phone number she had given us was fake. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching.